Kakeru seems like a normal high school student besides the eye patch he wears because of the strange color of his right eye. He used to live in an orphanage with his elder sister, but 7 years ago, his sister committed suicide, leaving a lifelong traumatic effect on Kakeru. Luckily, he has Yuka beside him to cheer him up. She also lived in the same orphanage before getting adopted by the Mine's family. One day while going shopping with Yuka, Kakeru experiences a strange incident. He starts to have a headache, and when he opens back his eyes, the world has changed. The sky has turned red, centering a black moon, and everyone else has disappeared from the city except Kakeru and Yuka. A bunch of creepy monsters appear and surround them from all sides. Before they can take a step, the world returns to its normal state. The next day at school, a new student, Shiori Momono, joins in. Besides her gorgeous personality, she has a mysterious energy around herself. Ruka still can't forget the red night, so Kakeru takes her shopping. Kakeru wishes that the mysterious incident doesn't repeat, but then he sees a young girl nearby who looks familiar to his dead sister. Their heads start to hurt again and they are transported to the creepy dimension. They are surrounded by evil monsters, but someone comes over to save them. It's Misuzu Kakeru, a senior student from his school. She slashes the monsters with her samurai sword and drags her school fellows to a corner. Misuzu believes that they are invited by someone who created this world with a red night in a different space-time. She doesn't know enough details, but believes that the source of energy in this world is coming from the palace, located in the center surrounded by 6 crystal towers. On their attempt to enter the palace, they get blocked by a black knight, but Misuzu creates a wind that helps them escape. On entering the palace, they find an innocent girl named Lysette trapped inside a crystal asking for help. A few more black knights are blocking the crystal. The knights are named after the cardinal sins and are determined to kill all the intruders, especially Kakeru. As soon as they attack, Kakeru and the girls get transported back to their world. Misuzu tells Kakeru that she's an onmyoji, a person who specializes in magic and divination. She reveals that 3 more students from their school are experiencing this phenomenon. One thing is common between them. They all have a special skill. Misuzu believes that Kakeru's right eye must be special too, as he experiences pain in it whenever he's on the red night. On the way back, Kakeru sees the illusion of her elder sister once again. Kakeru keeps having such illusions and suffering from nightmares as well. The next day in the library, Kakeru sees her elder sister once again, and this time he also finds a note saying that he awoke the devil. Kakeru requests Misuzu to train him as he wants to be strong enough to protect his friends. She refuses at first, but seeing his dedication, she brings Kakeru and Yuka to her house. The Kakeru clan, being the generation of onmyoji, has the responsibility to save people with their spiritual power. The clan had 5 family swords that were distributed among heirs. Misuzu won against everyone but got banished from the family because she killed her father in one of the battles. Misuzu wasn't on good terms with her father, as he doesn't like the fact that Misuzu looks up to Misao Kakeru. She was the strongest female fighter but was banished 70 years ago for using Jehu. This is different from what the Kakeru clan follows. Misuzu instructs Kakeru to start from the basics, but he seems in a rush to become powerful. He feels the pain in his eye again and the red night settles in. The black knights call Lysette a witch and proceed to kill Kakeru and the girls, whom they call fragments. Misuzu takes the lead against the knights and tells Kakeru to run away with Yuka. Misuzu gets help from another warrior to kill the knight. This makes one of the crystal towers around the palace disappear. They return to their world, but Kakeru can't stop thinking about the illusions of his sister. Luckily, they have discovered 2 more students who can see the red night. It's Yukiko Hirohara and Takahisa Tajima. Yukiko is a lively first-year student and works at the same place as Kakeru, so she joins the team. Takahisa assumes that he's powerful enough to survive alone. Kakeru continues his training but can't awaken his hidden powers. Misuzu advises him to associate his deep emotions with fighting, and in doing this Kakeru gets a vision of the near future. He considers it an illusion, though Misuzu has noticed. The next day, the Red Knight appears again. This time 2 powerful knights are sent to kill Kakeru and the girls. Misuzu is having a hard time defending alone, so Yukiko decides to join in. She takes off her glasses and becomes a different personality. When the knights see their defeat, they call in 2 more knights who attack Yukiko and pierce through her body. The knights proceed to attack others, but Takahisa stops them with his powerful flames. The Red Knight disappears, but Kakeru and others are worried for Yukiko, but she heals in an instant. Yukiko has a double personality and an ability to degenerate, making her completely immortal. She finds herself disgusting, but getting acceptance from her new friends gives her immense pleasure. Ruka falls unconscious again and Kakeru takes her to the infirmary. There he gets to know that the nurse Seiko is Takehisa's adoptive mother. She was a carefree motorcyclist in her youth, but her life changed when she found Takehisa on the street. Yukiko cherishes Takehisa a lot and even convinces him to join their team. Misuzu has brought another member too, a student named Kyukuri Takabana. She has the same first name and same face as Kakeru's sister, but is a different person. So Kakeru wasn't having an illusion. Kyukuri is a sweet girl but doesn't have the ability to speak and write down whatever she wants to say. After solving this mystery, Kakeru requests Misuzu to continue his training as he wants to protect Yuka himself. Misuzu believes that Kakeru lacks composure and needs to develop the ability to turn feelings into strength. Meanwhile, Takehisa attempts to leave the city to escape the Red Knight, but an invisible wall doesn't let any of them get away. Before he can figure it out anymore, the Red Knight appears again. Misuzu tells Kakeru and Yuka to run away, but they encounter a knight at the school gate. Kakeru rethinks all the words Misuzu said and he succeeds in awakening his powers. He can see the enemy's future attacks in advance and dodges. He cuts down the knight with his upgraded sword but falls unconscious due to incautious use of power. Each nerve of Kakeru's body is affected. Misuzu believes that taking him to the hospital is useless. She brought him to her house and started the treatment with spiritual power. The power Kakeru possesses is called the Eye of Eon, a power that passed down the generation of the Drasuvania kingdom. The last bearer was King Berard, whom Kakeru meets in his unconscious thoughts. The king tells Kakeru that he can get rid of the pain by giving up on his powers. Kakeru responds that he's ready to bear any pain to become powerful enough to protect his loved one Ruka. The next morning, Kakeru wakes up and finds Misuzu unconscious nearby. She used up all her energy in the healing process. Ruka has brought breakfast for them, but when she sees Kakeru and Misuzu together, she mistakes them for being in a relationship. She rushes away and Kakeru follows her to the school roof. Kakeru tries to convince her that what she saw wasn't true, but Ruka asks for a kiss to prove his feelings. Kakeru excuses himself, which makes Ruka run away again. The Red Knight starts to appear and Black Knights have come to attack them. Misuzu and Kakeru aren't healed, but Kyukuri protects everyone with her strength. The Black Knight she attacked was two knights, brother and sister, sharing a body. The brother is killed but the sister escapes. Kakeru and Takehisa are looking for Ruka in the school while the girls are searching in the streets. Yukiko finds Ruka and requests her to go back, but she's feeling disappointed for not having any power. Yukiko shares her own life story. She was born in Drasuvania and later picked up by a Japanese man. A war was going on at that time. Due to Yukiko's ability to regenerate, she was used as a human weapon who killed many people to save her loved ones. Yukiko had become obsessed with killing. She used her glasses to suppress her powers. Having powers is not as charming as it looks. Lysette tries to break through the crystal seal, but one of the Black Knights builds the seal again. The sister of the Black Knight that escaped Kyukuri's attack is killed by a mysterious lady for leaving her brother alone. Another crystal pillar has disappeared, while two other Black Knights named Superbia and Invidia are ordered to kill Kakeru as soon as possible. When Invidia sees no other way, she puts up a barrier and prepares to kill everyone, including herself. In the meantime, Yuka's power has awakened. She can erase the powers of everyone around herself, making Invidia's attacks useless. Yukiko takes advantage of the situation and kills Invidia with her blades. After the battle, Kakeru puts Yuka to bed and goes to meet Misuzu. She tells him everything about Misao and reveals that the Black Knight Superbia is actually Misao, who didn't age because of living in the Red Knight. The person she admired the most is now her enemy. Misuzu requests Kakeru to drink her blood so Kusakabe's powers can be transmitted to him. Unfortunately, Ruka has seen them and mistakes their relationship once again. Misuzu and Kyukuri go to search for Yukiko and leave Kakeru and Yuka behind. Yukiko has gone to meet Takehisa. She wants to thank him for being so kind to her. She then advises Takehisa not to be cold towards Seiko. It's a big fortune to have someone to care about you. Most realize the importance after losing them. Yukiko's words leave a deep effect on Takehisa and he promises himself that he will spend more time with Seiko from now on. Meanwhile, Shiru has come to meet Kakeru and reveals her identity. She's the summoner Ursula sent by the Minister of Index Librorum, which is the biggest magical organization. Back in the school, Yukiko and Takehisa go to meet Seiko but find her hanging in the infirmary after being killed by Superbia. Takehisa loses his senses and attacks Superbia, causing destruction to the whole city. Superbia is using an illusion to distract Takehisa and goes to kill Kakeru. Misuzu and Kyukuri rush to help Kakeru and entrust Yukiko to stop Takahashi. He has completely lost control and requests Yukiko to stop him. With no other option left, Yukiko kills him to stop the destruction. The Red Knight appears. Superbia has taken her real form as Misao and destroys Misuzu's legendary swords. She has also created the puppets of defeated Black Knights to aid herself. When the Red Knight ends, Misao also disappears. Kakeru gathers with the girls. Shiru tells them about the magical organization of Index. It's responsible for keeping the demons away from the world, and Shiru is such a magician too. The Black Knights are also created to defeat the demons. The real evil isn't the Black Knight but the fragments. There is a powerful gem called a Void Stone. It is divided into 7 fragments, and each fragment is stored in a human. The humans are Kukuri, Misuzu, Takahisa, Yukiko, Yuka, Shiru, and the prisoner witch Lysette. The witch's real name is Lieselot Workmeister. She's the one who's calling Kakeru and others into the Red Knight so she can collect all the fragments and assemble the Void Stone. Lieselot wants to use Void Stone power to open the Oblivion Gate present in the Black Moon. That gate leads to Hell and will bring the world to its end. Before Shiru can continue, they get interrupted by Ruka. She has lost her senses and even attempts to kill Misuzu. After she goes to sleep, Shiru tells Kakeru the remaining details. 100 years ago, a magician named Lieselot obtained an immortal body and was called the Witch of Babylon. Later she fell in love with King Berard, who wanted to destroy the world. When Berard was assassinated by one of his friends, Lieselot swore to fulfill his dream. The Index organization sealed her in an alternate world, and the warriors became Black Knights. The Knights are afraid that Kakeru's body will be taken into control by Berard because of the eye. But if Kakeru gains control of his power, he can finish the immortal witch. The Black Knights used the Rainbow of the Covenant to seal the witch. They sent the fragments into 7 parallel worlds. The world they are in right now is Ruka's world, and Kukuri is an illusion created by Ruka. The Red Knight appears. Misuzu is gathering everyone, but Yukiko is missing. She has gone to the Crystal Palace to take revenge for Takahisa's death. Kakeru and others rush after her, but they are late. Misao has already killed Yukiko and pulled out the fragment from her body, making her unable to regenerate. Yuka takes away the fragment and throws it at Lieselot, breaking her free from the crystal. The witch attacks Yuka and snatches away her fragment as well. Kakeru bursts into tears while holding Yuka's body. To keep the other fragments away, Kakeru and Misuzu are sent back to Yuka's world. As her world is still in its place, it assures that Yuka is still alive, so Kakeru clams down. As the fragments of Takahisa and Kukuri are already destroyed, so Lieselot needs the Eye of Eon to fulfill her task. Misuzu and Kakeru combine their power by bonding to defeat the witch, but the battle has already gone out of hand. Before dying, Misao informs them that all the Black Knights have died while fighting the witch. The guardian angel of Kukuri has been defeated as well. Kakeru notices Yuka coming out of the Red Knight. She tells him that the witch is defeated. Kakeru rushes to hug her, but she's actually Lieselot. She kills Kakeru and steals his Eye of the Eon, while also taking Misuzu's fragment. Now it's impossible to stop her evil plans. This all hasn't happened yet. It is the future Kakeru sees when Lieselot plans to attack Yuka. To change the future, Kakeru attempts to kill himself with the spiritual sword, but Yuka uses her power to make the sword disappear and saves Kakeru. Moreover, it made Lieselot lose her powers for a certain time frame, giving Kakeru and others a chance to escape. In his childhood, Kakeru was always protected by Yuka, who stood by him through thick and thin. Now it's Kakeru's turn to protect her. After opening his eyes, Kakeru gets to meet Abraxas, the spirit living in Kukuri's body. In Kakeru's world, he was killed by Abraxas, and Kukuri committed suicide after knowing about the Red Knight. In Yuka's world, Kakeru is still alive and owns the Eye of Eon. Meanwhile, Lieselot's powers have recovered and sealed Ruka. Shiru sacrifices herself and hands over her fragment to Kakeru to defeat Lieselot. Misuzu casts the life-devouring sword to help Kakeru. Berard's voice comes out of nowhere and stops Lieselot from destroying the future. The witch has already gone too far and doesn't want to give up yet. The Black Knights and Misuzu combine their power to attack Lieselot, and Kakeru seals her by combining the power of fragments and Eye of Eon. The Red Knight starts to disintegrate, so Misao takes Kakeru, Misuzu, and Yuka back to their world. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.